I'm Graham Elwood, and welcome to the Political Vigilante. Today I want to talk about an article that was in the February 12th issue of the Los Angeles Times titled Guerrilla Tactics, and it's about the Black Bloc. It specifically goes into the protests at UC Berkeley that alt-right Nazi fuckstick Yiannopoulos, or however you pronounce his last name, was speaking at Berkeley, and then there was a protest, as you would expect at UC Berkeley, and it got violent because of the Black Bloc. And the Black Bloc started in the 1970s in Germany to resist the neo-Nazis in Germany in the 70s, and they would wear all blacks and band together so the police couldn't identify them. And they have since become, they've been on the rise since the police brutality in the States has gotten worse, but really since Trump has been elected, they have shown up in force, and he's been a pretty nice recruiting tool for them. So they are very specific. You'll see, the day of the inauguration, a lot of those riots, you're like, you saw people online from the right going, you liberals, you just kids, get out there, and they smash everything up. They're very specific. They, like corporations, they set a limousine on fire. They smashed up banks and corporations. They leave the mom and pop stores alone. They go after the police specifically. And they're not about nonviolent action. They think the liberals that are all about nonviolence, they think they're like, that's bullshit. It's time for action. And I'm on the fence. I gotta be very honest with you. Part of me is like, I've joked in my act that I'm a hippie trapped in a meathead's body, and the hippie is like, hey man, nonviolence, that's what worked for Dr. King and Nelson Mandela and Gandhi, was all nonviolence, and they got so much taken care of with nonviolence. But then the other side of me is like, the powers that be have been fucking us so hard. The corporate media is full of shit, which the Black Bloc has complete disdain for. You can't trust anyone. The government is full of shit. The corporate media is full of shit. The banks are corrupt and fucking people. And who gets hurt the most is the poor. The poor and the middle class get screwed. The 1%ers, they're not going to be affected. There's going to be another crash, as I've talked about on this show. The 1%ers won't get affected by this at all. And the Black Bloc is just like, fuck this, it's time for action. They're not going to listen to us. They're not going to listen to your protests. Their whole thing is like, during the peaceful Women's March, the day after the inauguration, all of them were pretty peaceful. It was great, nice, peaceful, make their voice heard, which I'm all for. But the Black Bloc was like, well, yeah, while you guys were doing that, he was defunding, medical care for people in third world countries. That's why it doesn't matter. You got to take action. You got to scare them. You got to scare power. You got to blow them up. You got to set them on fire. And they go to where there's like neo-Nazi rallies, and they show up there and get into violent conflicts with white supremacist groups. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't know if that works. But then it's like, if you're going to join a neo-Nazi group, what do you think? I mean, maybe you need to get knocked in the mouth if you're a Nazi. And the police brutality and the militarization of the police in this country over the last 30, 40 years or longer is brutal. And I don't know what's going to tone that down. And now look at the police brutality that was happening when Obama was in office. Now we've got Trump. I don't know. Maybe there needs to be an armed revolution. I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying grab a gun and go blow it up, but I don't know what else to do. The political system is completely broken. The Democrats rigged the Democrats still won't own that they rigged their primary. If they were to say that, hey, we fucked up. There's an article that I'm gonna talk about, I saw in the Huffington Post, that Hillary is thinking about becoming mayor of New York City. She's going to try to make a run in 2020. The Democratic Party has learned nothing from this crushing defeat. They're just like, oh, the Russians, and now they're crying rigged, the way Trump was crying rigged when he thought he was going to lose. over the summer. It's insane. They've learned nothing. They've learned nothing from this. And it's just going to be another, if Hillary runs in 2020, we'll say hello to 8 years of Trump. Or if they just put some other stiff in there who gets elected and beats Trump, and then what? Then we got 8 years of their bullshit. Just fucking, yay, Goldman Sachs approves gay marriage. You know, well, we got Planned Parenthood back. Muslims aren't getting arrested at the airport. So what if the banking industry is fucking everyone over? We got those things. You know, the army is going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to up their recruiting numbers again. We need more recruiting numbers. There's a whole article about that. Oh man, a lot of scary stuff in the world. We need to get more people to join the military. Like, they're just fucking us at every turn. So I don't know, man. I'd love to know your thoughts. You know, like when Richard Spencer got punched in the face, that was a black Bloc person that fucking knocked him out. And some people were like, violence doesn't work, you can't do this. Well, guess what? Richard Spencer was then doing video from his apartment on Twitter. He wasn't out in the street because he was afraid of getting knocked out. Yeah, fucking Nazis need to be afraid they're going to get knocked the fuck out. So maybe this is the way to go. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I'd love it to be all peace and love, and maybe we shower them with love, and they'll finally love themselves enough to not want to plunder the world with their Nazi greedy bullshit. But I don't know, man. Tell me your thoughts. It sounded like I was like Sarek doing that to Kirk. Kirk, I need your thoughts. Sorry, nerd reference. Graham Elwood.